Hallo Leute! Welcome to this video about rice farming worldwide. As we will soon be getting rice cultivation in the farming simulator, I did a bit of research on the subject of rice cultivation and came across some fascinating information. I also found some funny rice farming equipment. More on that at the end of the video. Rice is a staple food for almost half of the world's population, especially in Asia, where most people eat rice every day. In the Western world, rice consumption is lower, but increasing. By far the most rice is grown in Asia. The main producers there are China, India, Indonesia, Bangladesh and Vietnam. Western countries such as the USA, Brazil and Italy also contribute significantly to rice cultivation. Did you know that rice is not actually a wet plant at all, but rather belongs to the grass family like all types of grain? Wet cultivation, however, helps with pest control and has therefore become very popular. Most rice is now grown in flooded fields. In Asia, traditional wet rice farming systems dominate. Rice is grown in flooded fields, which controls weeds and pests and provides nutrients. Terraced fields in countries such as the Philippines and Vietnam adapt to mountainous terrain and ensure even irrigation and prevent soil erosion. Rice is first raised outside the fields and then the tender plants are planted in the flooded fields by hand or with the help of small machines. Harvesting finally takes place in drained fields, either also by hand with sickles or with small specialized combines. In the Western world, however, particularly in the United States, rice cultivation uses advanced technology and large-scale methods. Dryland techniques with controlled irrigation are common. Mechanization, including tractors and combines, reduces labor costs and increases efficiency. In the USA, it is common to sow rice on slightly moist fields using agricultural aircraft. The fields are only flooded more heavily later. The harvest is carried out using the usual large combine harvesters after the fields have been drained. I don't know yet how rice cultivation will be implemented in detail in FS25, of course, but the machines are usually recreated like the originals, which makes for a relatively realistic cultivation method in the game. What I already know is that we will get two types of rice. One will be for wet farming and the other for dry farming. Here are some of the typical rice cultivation machines that are used primarily in Asia. Here you can see the rice transplanter by Iseki, which we saw in the trailer already. So this is a machine that we will get in the game definitely, because as it is a CGI trailer and it's only a story that has been told, but if we see machines in this trailer, they come to the game. Everything else could be just a story, like traveling to Asia by bus and so. But the machines, they are for real. And therefore, we will get this machine. We already had a tractor by Iseki in FS22, so it's no new brand for the game. But this machine and all the other rice equipment will be new. And yeah, so a rice transplanter is used to plant the rice from those tablets into the ground, and those wet fields, they are called paddies. And so yeah, the small rice plants are planted with those machines into the already very wet fields that are flooded with water. And before they grow the rice plants in greenhouses or such, on dry land, or moist, I would say, because even a small plant uses water, but it is not flooded, because the rice is no water plant and it doesn't germinate in water. So it has to be germinated and grow until a certain stage in advance. And this machine takes all the plants on the tablets. Maybe I get this image back. Here we see it, and we have the the tablets prepared, and in the back the planting takes place, and here in the back. And here we see something about the engine, and here a little bit how it's done, especially on edges of the field. And here we can see those little, you can't see my mouse, I see. Okay, so at the right side you can see the little thingies that take the plants and plant the small plants into the soil. And it is planting 6 rows in one go, so it is a 6 planting row model. And yeah, here we see how it looks before work and after the work. And this machine is very good in turning. It is making a Z-turn, so you don't need to drive around a lot to come back to the position where you want to be, but you can just turn inside the field and just turn around on the machine axis and go to the next area where you have to plant the rice plants. Yeah, and there are even other machines by Iseki for transplanting rice. This is a different model, and it has something like little boats underneath. So here we can see it. At the side there are those little boat-like thingies, and it still has wheels, so it drives on wheels. But I guess this boat-like thingy is carrying a part of the weight or so. Yeah, and it looks quite different, and it's available for 4 or 6 rows. And I think the main principle will be the same. And they have different harvesters than we use for the normal grains. Special, rather small harvesters. And there is this very special one that looks a little bit like a cotton harvester, but much, much smaller. And here you can there you can see it working, but only not so good. Maybe we get it in the game, I don't know yet, so we only have the information about this one rice transplanter. But I'm sure we will get a whole bunch of machines for rice, and therefore maybe one of those harvesters. And maybe even different brands. There are quite a lot of completely unknown brands that are famous in Asia, and big enterprises when I was at the Agritechnica last year in Hanover. There was a whole building full of mainly Asian agriculture brands, and they had very interesting machines, and it was a whole new world. And I thought, okay, I've never heard of all those brands, and they are very interesting. And yeah, so maybe they will come to the game. It stays interesting. So here is this machine, very, very special, and then more normal looking combine, but it is a very tiny one, and you sit over there and it has no cabin, it is open, and it has a very, very tiny header, and this looks more like a normal combine. And I guess maybe that is good for the other crops as well, so maybe, but that's just a guess of me. They will this is used when you have rice and other crops. Then you maybe buy this one to harvest both types of crops, but they don't say much about this. So this is no information for the interested noob who has no idea about this rice farming. But we will get more information until the FS22 releases and after this as well. And then I had a look at Kubota, because Kubota was in the game as a DLC in FS22, and they wrote in the blog article about the upcoming FS25 that we will have Kubota in the game. And I thought, okay, Kubota is a Japanese brand, so maybe they have rice machines as well. And yes, they do. They have this type of combine. This looks really similar to this, this here, that one. So it's the same type of harvester. And they also have those rice transplanters. And yeah, it looks rather similar, I would say. So we can expect a variety of very cute machines, I think. Okay, that's it about rice cultivation worldwide and in the upcoming FS25. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching and all the best. Till next time. Tschüss.